it's your girl Sassy MC here, and I would like to welcome you to LIB Latest News 231 YouTube channel. LIB Latest News 231 is the place where you can watch all of your political news, entertainment news, and sports news. To stay informed about the latest news, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification button on your screen for more videos from Liberia, Africa, and the world at large.
I did not want to leave this country. I can say I am being forced into exile by the world's superpower. I have decided to leave because, for the first time in the history almost of the world, the United States is using food and other things as a weapon against the Liberian people. Because if the administration of President Bush says that they will not step on this soil and will do nothing as long as I'm here, this further threatens your survival as a people. And as I have said, I can no longer see you suffer. The suffering is enough. For you are good people. You've been very good to me through the grace of God. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. I will always remember you wherever I am. And I say to you, God willing, I will be back. God bless you. There's an ongoing process in Accra. I am hoping that after I leave, it can come to Liberia. If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The national anthem.
And I want to thank President Bush, even though we have had some disagreements, and I think I'm entitled to my opinion just as he is entitled to his. But I believe that he's a Christian. And I know he has a good heart, even though he's been misled with lies, disinformation. But I know that God will reveal the truth to him. I have nothing against him. I believe he's made decisions based on the lies that he's reached him. But the Republic of Liberia will survive. And I know he means well. And I urge him to do everything to help ECOWAS in this country to move forward.
Well, thank you, folks, and welcome back to the program. We are sorry for that breaking transmission. We want to welcome. I want to welcome my co-host, Mr. Eric Gamoyi Freeman, a Liberian journalist who will join me to co-host this edition of this program, The Real Facts, on Liberia Latest News Television in collaboration with State Television. Eric Gamoyi Freeman, welcome.
Thanks for having me on the program, and it's a pleasure making my debut here today on this program. I'm excited to be here, and I hope that this will be a nice time together here for us. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Welcome. This is your place as always. You are welcome, my dear friend and brother, Makodi. Let me welcome our guest, Honorable Solomon Weawea. We say you are most welcome to this program.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen. My name is Solomon Weawea. I am the Executive Director for the Liberian National Heritage and Cultural Development Association. I hail from Bonkade, Zoda District. It's in District number 4, Namatown. That's my hometown. I presently dwell in the United States. Are you getting me?
Yeah, we're getting you. You are live. You are live, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I just completed that I hail from a little town in Bon County called Nama. It's in this Zota district. That's district number 4. And I live in the United States, but Liberia, I'm always in and out around there. And then we have established this organization to do peace building and advocacy. So that is exactly what we are doing. So thank you very much.
Okay, so you as the head of the Liberia National Cultural Heritage, we want to know how
Yeah.
things have been so far with you, especially in your advocacy for Liberians to go back and continue to like practice their culture. What have been how things been
You
like?
know what happened? Okay, okay. Thank you very much. You know what happened is that first of all, Liberia is a traditional country.
Sure.
So yes, we realize that there is a disconnect. Uh, in Liberia, we need to recognize that there are 3 demographic in Liberia. We have the traditional demographic. We have the Muslim demographic, and we have the Christian demographic. Now, the traditional demographic is the foundation of the country. So, realizing that there is a disconnect, we thought it was to establish something that will bring the people together, considering the foundation of the nation. So that disconnect is what we are speaking to, hoping and praying that people will get to realize their own heritage, cultural heritage. And for example, we have been giving in some instances we are like, why a Pele have the children they don't speak their own dialect, and what is wrong with our dress code, and why are we adopting Western culture? As some of you know very well, the dress code now we have is far different from our background. That's not our heritage. And some of the activities that are being carried on today are very, very much far away from our heritage, our cultural heritage. So that is the reason why we established to see how we can work with our people. It's not going to be automatic. It doesn't work overnight because it have been our heritage, our tradition have been undermined by previous government up to date. So we are seeing it's possible that we can work along with our people gradually. It's going to come out. It's not going to be overnight, but as we get together to see how well we can understand, we can work together. Is going to improve and it gets better for the country.
Okay,
Thank you.
you as a stakeholder within a county with rich history, which is Bon County. You have the likes of Swak, Chief Swakoko, and other who really played a part in Liberian history. And what have been your own role so far in connecting with national government, with the new leadership that just took over with the new government? What have been your role so far with them?
You know, sometimes we get to misconstrue what is advocacy and government. We do not we do advocacy. We speak for the people. We speak to issues that we think are not on the right page or right track.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we have to do when it comes to government, we make sure to get the documentation to operate in the country, under the law. So we have been able to do that to establish. We have article of incorporation and all of the documents that are, that allow us to function in the country legally. And when it comes to the tradition, we have to realize that the tradition of the country right? It's not a government functionary. That is very far away. We only work under the banner of the government and do the thing we're supposed to do so that it's not going against the government. And the government does not also have the power to just stop. This is the foundation of the country. Thank you.
Okay, Chief. I one day wonder, I with the way things are going amongst the people in the country, owing to the fact that the way those days, the way our mothers used to dress and come out and present themselves, the way they used to, cater to the home and what have you. And coming to today's date, the way women dress and come out, the way the youth, the young people present themselves, children coming out of the home, disrespecting their elders and what have you. You've been a lead campaigner for, the culture and heritage. What's your take on that? How do you intend to go back to the counties, to the communities, to engage with these people, to restore that value, that we have back then? How do you intend to do that?
All right, thank you. One step that we took when is sometimes difficult for a message to be propagated across the country, but when you start, it goes down gradually. They those who been following us, when they had introduced this the war crime court issue that have been holding and putting in Liberia, our take on that was like, no, we need to reconcile. What we mean by that? What do we mean by that? We are saying we have 16 tribes and 15 political subdivisions in the country. The Bele tribe, the Gio, the Crown, the Mano, all of these people, what we are saying is let's reconcile, hoping that the government will listen to us and we can go against this. Let's reconcile and start the foundation of the country. What happened is, what if we establish to settle the conflict between the Gio and the Crown and the Pele and the Grebo and the Loma, and all through you have it. And what if we do that? That will be the foundation of this thing here, where everyone will know where we are standing and where we come from. Liberia should be is the country for is our shared heritage, so to speak. If we succeed in bringing Gio and Crown together, they will be now. They are the ones who will implement this. What we're talking about, because we once said we want to use peace conflict resolution method. That is, speak to the people of Nimba to say, let's leave this war thing. The thing that happened to us, it was an error. Speak to the people of Grand Jide, in Bong, and the people in Bong Kande, Bapolu, Cape Mount, Bombing, and the rest of it. What will happen is, let's start from to the elders from Nimba Kande go to Grand Jide. We discuss there and put everything behind us. We play there, and use our traditional method by using cola nuts to say we are sorry for what happened. That will be repeated from Grand Jide to Nimba, the same thing, and through all the 15 political subdivisions involving the 16 tribes. Then we have the basis that will work effectively to see if we are saying, okay, let's talk to our children. We want to talk to them not only from Monrovia, we want to speak to them in the various counties. That is, people from Nima, the elder will be aware of what we mean, and they will have to talk to their children. As we go there, we work along with them. So it is a gradual process. It is a gradual process. But we intend to hold workshops. We had a couple of workshops previously, but we intend to expand that to hold workshop to bring in the youth and work along with government agency so that we can change some of these things. And you cannot do it independently. You cannot do it all by yourself without involving the government or the people of the country. So that is our goal, and that's what we intend to achieve.
So the government of Liberia, through the uh, partners over the weeks ago, they uh, put stop to the sign of resolution with chiefs and elders and those of Vera County's traditional leaders to put stop to the bush coup. Do you think that will have an effect, a negative effect on our society?
Well, I am not getting you clearly, but I think I got you partially to conclude on that. I follow the Ministry of we follow the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and we need to note here that the Internal Affairs Minister, even the government, does not have the authority to close down like the bush school. They have to, the stakeholders. I mean, we have to, this thing is established outside our government. I saw it on the media. When it comes to the tradition, it shouldn't be discussed on the media.
Sure.
The government does not interfere with anybody's tradition around the country. They work with the people, but that is very sacred. It has to be done behind closed door. That's not the way they went. We know some officials of the ministry who making effort to get to them to discuss. We want to resolve everything amicably,
But
so that it
there have
wouldn't
been
be like we take
a resolution have already been signed.
No. Let me tell you that that's a misstep. Do you know the Republic of Liberia? There were the tradition and the traditional people live here before the settlers came to now establish to establish the government, the settlers government, the modern government. 1822, were there people living in Liberia? Yes. Were there government? Yes. Were there structure? Yes. Were the tradition and our cultural heritage, did they exist? Oh yes, of course. And they knew about it. Look, there is something missing. They are here. The headquarters of the pre 1822 government was in Bopolu, and there was a king. Whatsoever form of government out there was a king, King Sabozo Kamara, and the Selda kingdom knew it. There was a treaty. We're going to follow up on that. There was a treaty before the establishment of government from 1822, then later 1847, the country got its independence. There was a treaty. That treaty exists today, that no one interfere. That means the pre-1822 government will not interfere with the government, the central government. They can run their government. But also, the government of the settlers that established 1822 will not interfere with the tradition. We need to find this out and bring it out so people can know. So if a government want to interfere with that now, there should be the process. That's not, they don't have the authority to close anything down. So we've got to go back to that treaty to say what happened at the time. Was there a treaty? Let's go back and read. Let's go back and find the information. If it's not written, it has to be there verbally. That there was a treaty. That's the reason why it was during the reign of not even Sir Bozo Kamara, during the reign of his son, Sir Momoru, that treaty got finalized and the government of the settlers now took over. The traditional government now emerged. Based upon that, the government had never interfered. They had never interfered with the traditional group. Until now, the government feel that they have the authority to do so. What's wrong with that treaty? So if they have to do so, we have to go back to that 1822 or 1823, the treaty, to see what is the role of the government when it comes to the tradition. we had to redefine that. It's happening already, but anything can happen and be revised. It will just be done the right way, I guess. So I think that was a misstep because we are not following the history of the country. We are ignoring something because look here I live in the United States. The government does not interfere with the traditional function of the Bush Indian that they met here. They don't. I mean, United States of America. There are certain point now in Indiana where the people traditional side is right there. They want to run a pipeline, the oil pipeline there. They are being a problem. The people say no. The government had to negotiate, and they don't negotiate on the media behind closed door and meet the people so you can come to consensus. Otherwise, you can't use authority. Use authority, it's going to bounce back on you.
Sure.
So I think that was a misstep, and it needs to be revisited.
Sure.
Okay, you be a lead campaigner for the Liberia National Heritage and Cultural Development Association. Have you or did you engage with the Ministry of Internal Affairs to put forth some of these ideas and recommendations ever?
It took us aback because we are. I saw it on the media, but we were in during the time of our media and stakeholder engagement. We came across some of the officials of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. So that's going on the D way to see how we can get to them. We just have to be mutual. We have to honor to have an understanding. We give our own position on that and see what they will come up with. So there are something that some people do without realizing what it is and the consequences behind that. Unless you get to know, they give you the entire nitty-gritty of the thing. There are something maybe you didn't know, you get to learn it. No one knows everything. So when you get to know some of these things, then I guess we're going to be. Those are very good people. I met a gentleman, one of the assistant ministers. He was so very well welcoming. He was a nice guy. Our interaction with him was magnanimous, man. So I mean, the time I'm going to have his number. I'll try to call him so we can set up some of these things before we can go further. But I guess there's understanding, and the minister embraced. When we talk about the tradition, the minister embraced the idea. He stood with us. But only that I stayed during the time we were down there. I got sick. I didn't go back to him. He stood with us. He went from place to place, and he ready to stay with us and work along with us. He wholeheartedly welcomed the idea.
So, Honorable Weawea, the Liberia National Heritage and Cultural Development Association is also a NGO. You guys are there advocating for the less privileged. You've been there in the vanguard for years now. So how have things been in our sector so far? Hello?
Yes. I didn't hear you. I think the network is kind of.
I'm saying
Can you go over that?
Your organization is also NGO, also advocacy group, and they are also in the vanguard of helping people, helping the needy. What have been your role so far? So good.
Well, I'm not getting that clearly. I'm not sure why we are advocacy group. Yes, we do advocacy and peace building. And what was your question?
So I'm asking, what are the jobs that you have done so far? Because I follow you of late. I noticed that you've been working in the Bon region, the Bon County region, with the exception of Bon County and other counties. Are you having any plans of going out to continue your good work?
Absolutely. You're going to see us on the ground there soon. We have an office. The office is in Dwazo, the place called Transit. We have our staff there, and but to begin something, usually you find that it's not going to be that fast. But yes, we reach out to other people who want to expand to other part of the country. Absolutely. And we have playing on our way. We got some workshop playing and other stuff so that we can what we call sensitize people on what we stand for, and they need to know what we intend to do. Our objective. If they don't know, it's going to be hard for them to work with us. Yeah, we're in Maserado, we're in Bonkade, we're in Magibi, we're in Bomi, and so on. So I mean, yes, we are on course. It doesn't just work overnight, but hopefully, God's willing, we're going to be right on the ground. Myself will be there so that we can all see how we can take this thing off. I went, those villages I traveled, when I spoke to the people, they were very encouraged. They said, "Oh yeah, now that they stood with us," and they agree with the idea. So you're going to see a conglomeration of the traditional interest group coming along to work, so we can see how we can kind of build the basis of this thing. Is good for our country.
Okay, with this being said,
Thanks.
I'd like to transition a bit. And you being a lead campaigner for the movement that crying for the release of the former President Charles Gange Taylor. How far are you guys have gone with this call?
They that is what I go in my inbox, question from question, people asking for clarity on this one thing here. But observing the case, some of you can go online and look at that. Observing the case by the special court in Sierra Leone regarding the former president Charles Taylor, you will see the unfairness.
Okay.
You see the unfairness. It's very clear. You see it is very unfair. In the sub-region, within the period of time that he was indicted,
Okay.
all right, the sub-region was devastated by a civil war, with all the head of state supporting some group. He was. You gotta go back on YouTube. Just go follow the case beside that. See the reason why he's incarcerated for aiding and abetting. For aiding and abetting. That's the lead crime. Now, during the period of that same period of time in the sub-region, the place was devastated by a civil war. And I was in Guinea as a refugee. The the late president of the Republic of Guinea, General Lassana Conte, was supporting Ulimo right in my face. I saw the soldier of the Guinean army going across to help them to fight. He was not, and it was open. He was not indicted. He was not asked question before being indicted. He didn't go to court. The late president of Ivory Coast, Felix Ofoe-Bonnet, abetted. Similarly, the Ivorian, you know it. Today, the Ivorian in Liberia, they crossed on that side to fight for MPFL under the leadership of Felix Ofoe-Bonnet. Just crossed and fought and caused chaos in the country. What happened? He should have been indicted. We are human beings. The same way you want to hold Charles responsible, why you didn't hold these people responsible? We're in the same period of time. So someone will just get single up, 5% doing something is single one. We are saying it's unfair. Blaise Compaoré of Burkina Faso, the Burkina, they are in Liberia today. During the time of the war, he supported that. Then he aided and abetted the same way like Joseph Momo. I guess he was the president at the time of Sierra Leone. He aided and abetted. Nobody had him responsible. But Chancellor, we agree he aided and abetted. Why did you single this man out? There are some hands on that. So we are saying, even it doesn't matter if the world power is behind it, it's unfair. It's not good to be unfair in that way. So we are saying let him be free, be released, and people, you journalists can go and make research to find one case, to find one case where somebody was incarcerated for life because for somebody of his age, you put in jail for 50 years. That means that for life, he's not going to live 50 years. So let's find one case where somebody was incarcerated for life, for lifetime, for aiding and abetting. You're not going to find that. I've been checking. I'm like, let me find one case where someone aided and abetted and was placed in jail for life. No. So that's going to be the only thing we're going to write in the history. Chancellor was the only one, or he had been the only one that went to life imprisonment for aiding and abetting. Even with the worst crime people, the abettors just go free. Or if you want to check, probably in the United States, you may find some abettors that are going to jail for 3 years. But they are, for 50 years, that life imprisonment. We are saying that is unfair. Well, by the way, Forrest Sango was the leader of the country. He was held responsible. He even became vice president of a transitional government in his country. And all his generals are passing their scot-free. Then somebody want to go see to your house. Then Mike said, now the party of my house because Rod was there and he allowed them to take the rod to bring your place. If they want to hold a criminal, yeah, he responded. He's a respondent, they call it. But will he be held responsible to bear the greater penalty than the person who did it? No. So if they are saying, which is not right, they want to incarcerate him for some reason, it should be for a few years, at least 5 years, and let him go because he's not guilty of that crime. He only aided and abetted. Thank you.
Okay, I remember years back there was folks standing at the home of the former President Charles Taylor, soliciting signatures to release the former president. I want to know how far you guys have gone with these signatures issue.
Oh yeah, but actually, I don't know the group that was doing it. I'm not sure what was their objective. What had they were looking for 1 million signature. Did they get a 1 million signature? I really do not know unless some of you got tell me. If they got a 1 million signature, what did they do? Are you just collecting signature? You can't just collect signature. You collected signature to do something with it. So I don't know the method they used in the period of time and what they. I'm not sure what they wanted to achieve. And I don't know anybody from that group to ICE. So I don't know what was their objective, or were they just collecting signature? Because when you collect signature, if I collect signature from people, I have to come to get the outcome. This is the signature I collected and follow it, and the result. The result is what you want to see. I think that should be your goal. Your goal argument here is they got collecting signature, or this organization wanted signature. They are talking about 2 million signature. When they collect it, let's see what in the period of time, a couple of months, we're not even going to a year. Let's see. We have the report. Because the people from the villages, they will come from the village and come to Monrovia, to Monserrado, so when they leave and go to Banga from the villages and sign, their time they're taking, that means we owe them. We owe the people that are writing, signing their names, so that we got to come back to say, this is the case. After a month, we have to tell them, this is where we are. After 2 months, this is where we are. How far are we going? We got to keep informing the people. So I'm not sure. I don't know the group that are collecting the signature. I don't know their objective, so I can't speak to that.
You've been a lead campaigner for this process. How is a message resonating with the people?
My brother is going well. I think I'm going to work out more than 3,000 signatures online. And I was on radio bombing when 2 days ago I was on radio bombing. The people from bombing telling me, say, we beg you, can make it 4 million, sir. So you see that the people from bombing, they are telling me the people in Bonkande, the people want so some people call, they say, even if you request 4 million signature, will give it to you. You know, yeah, they are telling if you want 4 million signature, we'll give it to you. But the only thing is, We want you to come, or send the paper for all to sign. So the hard copy, we print it off. Even if I'm not, but I will make sure to be there by the grace of God. But we want to, you are with us, so the Empire TV is with us. We'll hit the ground, you get to know. And we want to go through the Republic of Liberia to collect signature to see if we're going to get 2 million. When we get 2 million, then you're all finished. We don't want all the people now. Because we say we want to do something, when you collect a signature, then we can come to tell you this is where we are. So that is that on that point.
We've been joined by a Liberian journalist, Mr. James Wodo Bartley. Mr. Bartley, you are welcome to this conversation.
Okay, thank you ever so kindly for having me. I'm James Bartley Waller, a Liberian journalist. Our host, Stephen Duncan and the guest.
So that is that on that point.
We've been joined by a Liberian journalist, Mr. James Wodo Bartley. Mr. Bartley, you are welcome to this conversation.
Okay, thank you ever so kindly for having me. I'm James Bartley Waller, a Liberian journalist. Our host, Stephen Duncan and the guest, Mr. Solomon Weawea. How you do, sir?
Yeah, how are you, my brother?
Okay, I'm good. Yeah. One may be wanting to know. You're asking for a signature. Party 1-2 million signature. So if you are getting this signature, so will it be enough for the plea for the former president Taylor to be free? You think that's gonna work?
Yes. You know, what I can say to people, nobody, no sound man ever start something and think they're going to be a failure. That means you don't mean it. Anybody who establish anything and say, I'm going to do that, if you mean it, your result is success. So yes, my brother, it's going to work. Let's keep it positive.
Let's keep it positive. That's good. That's a good sign. Let's keep it positive. Um, uh, Witness in terms of recent, I saw a few group alongside to the former president Taylor Horse collecting, some funds and things, soliciting some signature. But I've observed over the period that had never been materialized, and it had been died down. So we are wanting to know, how is this message resonating to the people of Liberia, and if so, will the RCC look into it and then see a necessary to release President Taylor? If that cannot be done, what's going to be your next call?
The phone is kind of breaking in. You are saying if we collect the signature and pursue the case, if ICC does not release Chancellor, is that what you're saying?
Few group of people in recent time was situated at the former
Oh, okay.
President
I
Taylor
know it.
house
Okay,
and
the phone is kind
soliciting
of not very
signature
clear, but yeah.
and at the end of the day everything will die down and things didn't materialize in their way, and you coming out today wanting to solicit another signature party to get 1-2 million. So with the RCC deem necessary in seeing this signature to release the former president Taylor at the plea, if that cannot be done, why going to be your next plan action? What's going to be your next plan action?
Well, we do not want to dwell on the negative to say if it will not be done. We know that it will be done. The process, those who are collecting signature. I see someone asked that question as well. Those who are collecting signature, I'm sure. I guess I followed that before. They were looking for 1 million signature, but I don't know anybody from that group. I don't know who are doing it. The group that are doing it, I do not know, and I don't know what was their objective. But what we are telling you is that we are now taking the lead to do this. Hopefully that group that are doing that can come and join us. So once we get 2 million signature, then we owe you now. So we are saying, we don't want to say if it will not work, why will not work? The Liberian people say we want a man back. So what we're saying is, when we get a 2 million signature, now it is our responsibility to pursue the case the way we think it's supposed to go. So, my brother, I tell you for sure, it is going to work.
For everything
It
you
will
do in
work.
this life,
He's
you
going to
got
be
to create
released.
a room for a disappointment. So I'm asking, so if this cannot work, what going to be your next plan action?
Well, we don't want to say if it will not work. If we are sure it's going to work. So we are. No, I'll just say let's keep it positive. We are saying it's going to work because what we're going to do is the legal implication in this is what we got to look at. So maybe when we come down there, we'll sit down and talk to you. We're not going to just be telling you our plan. That some of you guys who are against it start undermining it. So we're not going to tell you. We are saying it's positive. Let's keep positive. It's going to work. Although who said when you go in my boss, some guy going to go cost me for no reason. You don't even know what he costing me for. So we are. Let's keep it positive that it's going to work. If nothing goes the way you think, they come back to us. We're going to be in Liberia. Our offices are open. Come there and say, but what happened? That question will be answered during the period of that time. So let's keep that question for if there will be a failure, but no, without failure, it's going to work.
So one may
God's
be
willing.
asking, what is actually your interest in wanting for the former president to be free? Is he your honor relative, or what do you have to gain from the release so far?
Justice. All I want to gain is justice. The thing is not in your case, and those who are speaking against it is not in the case. I'm not saying you're speaking against it as a question you're asking, but let me tell you, he was treated unfairly. The man abetted. Go there, follow the case for abetting, for aiding and abetting. You can't keep somebody in jail for 50 years. It had never happened in the world, so that means he was singled out. What about those people who did it? They were passing around there, and they all passing. The late Prince Johnson, yes, he was involved in this war thing here. He did a lot of things that people will say, and all of those are there. So I mean, they are passing free. Then they come and single out one person, more especially the leadership in the sub-region are the one we are focusing on. Now, if they want to bring they want to take Mr. Taylor to court, let them bring him to Liberia. He should face anything that he did in Liberia. Just like we talk about the war crime court, they bring he beat down the A. They will talk about the war crime court. If he be scared, he died. Then that means he died in the process. Because we're telling that we are still pursuing the war and economic crime court to come to Liberia. So we are saying for Sierra Leone, he did not invade. He was a sitting president. He did not invade Sierra Leone. No one said that Mr. Taylor invaded Sierra Leone. He didn't. He didn't invade Sierra Leone. How is he responsible for what happened in Sierra Leone? No, Lebron don't know that the rebel leader was there to call him Foden Sango. Well, even in his own country, when he went there, he became vice president. He became vice president. When Great Britain thought that he was recalcitrant, and when they started the war and economic crime court thing here, so that they can set up a special court in Sierra Leone. The special court is not the International Court of Justice. So we can write to the International Court of Justice to express our dissatisfaction on how the special court handled the case. So they say a way out. So we're not going to the internet. We're telling the special court reevaluate the case and look at Mr. Taylor and free him because you are not right. You are on the wrong side. But if they are saying no, they're not doing it, the International Court of Justice is the higher court that is in the Hague. And the International Court of Justice will be ready to reevaluate the case to call the special court. That was the special court on Sierra Leone that did that.
Oh, okay.
My brother.
Yeah. Okay. I think I drew through the topic today. In subsequent time, the host is going to be drilling you through the next topic. So we got to leave it this way. So finally, so what is your final call? What is your final call, or before the host can move to the next topic? What is your final call on this issue for the free for the release of former President Mr. Charles Gange Taylor? What is your final call as your host move to the next topic?
Oh, okay. I think I got that question partially. What we're telling the people is the people of Liberia throughout the length and breadth, the 15 political subdivision, we asking we asking the 16 tribes in Liberia that bygone will be bygone. There are a lot of things that went on wrong throughout the world. A lot of things went on wrong. But we as a Liberians, we cannot be sitting down and our leaders, we are the one who's supposed to protect our leaders. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything that pertains to Liberia should be dealt with in Liberia, just like the rest of the sub-regional, government. So, Mr. Taylor have been there for good number of years, I guess 12 or 13. That we can check it or do the math. What we are saying, we're going to be coming with the hard copy. The people are still signing online. We may reach 10,000 before we come down there. We announce when we're going to be coming. We're going to bring the hard copy. Encourage your people to sign. Let's get the 2 million. Then you rest it or say, okay, then what we're doing now with the 2 million people will sign. So that all we can tell you. And tell your people to sign. They shouldn't run away from it. Say, oh, we're not signing. So other people asking me, because that's how them. It's not an issue. It's about how the leader of Liberia was treated unfairly. And he got incarcerated. The big hands will be behind it, but they also understand when they go wrong. So when we are pleading, when they look at the plea, they see the petition. I want trying to see I can publish it in one newspaper here. All right, in the New York Times, that's a big one, so that they can see it. And maybe the president of the United States also can look at it and say, "Oh yeah, they got it. What they're talking here, it makes sense." So that is what I can tell you, my brother. Thank you.
Oh, okay, folks. Share the live and encourage others to join as we are in conversation with Honorable Solomon Weawea as our guest. He's the CEO of the Liberia National Heritage and Cultural Development Association, and he's also the lead campaigner for the release of former President Charles Gange Taylor. In conversation with us today, and I have journalist Mike Eric Gamari Fremont here as my co-host, and we were joined by my colleague James Widow Barkley, a Liberia journalist. And Mr. We are going to transition to our next topic. Before that, let me announce the number that people can phone in on the show. The numbers to join us and call is 2 3 +231 776 438 428. I repeat, +231 776 438 428. 086 79 70 34. These are the numbers to join the conversation. Honorable as we transition to the next topic, I would like to know your recommendation as to the impasse at the House of Representatives. As you may be aware, for the past 6 to 7 months, there have been this tussle for leadership at the House of Representatives, where they have the majority black and that of the rule of law caucus. The majority black, which is headed by Speaker Kofa, Speaker Kum, I beg your pardon, and the rule of law caucus, which is headed by Speaker Kofa. What is your take? What is your take on this issue of the impasse at the House of Representatives?
Thank you. You see, we Liberians need to know that Liberia is our shared heritage. When something is going, that is why we have this organization. Unfortunately, I don't see interest group. These are interest group that should intervene in some of the issues, but we have not seen it. When something is going on in our government, we can play our role. Excuse me. We can play our own role. Now, if we all want to sit by and say it is their business I don't think we are taking the right path. So the House of Representatives have got the greatest power in the country, the first branch of government. That is the only branch of government that have their own rules, that how powerful they are. The government has the house has its own rule, and they made their own rule. They wrote the number 49 to third. But that 49, nobody forced them to put it there. They're the one when they decided that you need 49. So the thing here is we need a figure 49. We gotta speak on that or to that. You need 49 to unseat the speaker. And the speaker also need the majority to be able to govern effectively.
Sure.
So what is holding and the impasse this long? We posted that on social media before, that we can take the road to intervene. And our intervention method that we are seeing, since Speaker Kofa, he got, let's say 33, I'm just being approximate, 33 president on his side that will stand against the current Speaker Kuhn. Their intention was to get him out. The majority want him out. But since they did not obtain the 49, it's not possible to get him out. And Speaker Kuhn want to run the House having a 33 or 34, 35% outside that don't want to sit on a gavel is not also possible. Then you're not running a country. This is a peaceful country. So our thing here is, since you did not, Speaker Kofa could not, Speaker Kofa got the majority standing against it that does not want to sit. The majority do not want to sit on a gavel. And Speaker Kuhn does not also have all the speaker to sit on a gavel. That's a deadlock. Are we going to run the country this way all the way? So our suggestion there was that always been the both parties step down and the deputy speaker preside so that election can be held. Because the both of them, they know this is the no-win war. Nobody is going to, if no speaker will run effectively. You can govern with 30, 35, a quarter of your group, your staff, the quarter of them do not want to sit under your gavel. How do you run the country like that? So the conflict is up and down. So this is no win war. If you want to go plot, you plot. You win, Jeff. You watch the man, forget it. We start anew. We are recommending that the deputy speaker preside over the house, and election is hard. They go into that. Whoever want to run can run. Whoever gets a majority vote, you are the speaker. You can't hold the country down. You are affecting the entire country. And no one is saying anything about it, and we are just dealing it with it. And the court will not interfere with the function of the first branch of government, because that rule that is there is the court does not have authority over that rule to say change it around, make it 25 or make it 42 or 43, whatever it is. It's not going to work. The court does not want to cross the line. They are always on the right side. People say, "Oh, why the court? How is the court going to do that judgment?" To say we change the number 49, then who wrote the 49, let it among their side to go and say, "My man, let's have election, let the deputy speaker be there. The both of you drop. Whoever wants to run can run. Who gets the majority, he gets it." That's what we are recommending. So we are requesting, we're recommending that, so that the both parties step down and the deputy speaker takes over. He presides. Election is held rapidly so that someone can be there, so the government cannot keep sitting. Whatever has gone wrong, we can start anew and face Liberia. Otherwise, I don't see it working fine. there will be conflict, and the conflict can result into something else. We just came from 14 years devastating civil war. The people saying now they're playing with something like this. This is supposed to be solved quick.
The law
But the
says
step taken against, let me tell you something. The step taken against Speaker Kofa, they said that Speaker Kofa, the embarrassed speaker, did not want to resign. He wants to resign. But people had to settle something in the way that he resigned, in a respectful way. Thinking remain in conflict. Some of you, my man, I can see you on the football field, you know it. When you cheat you and nobody can feature there, and no one can to intervene, they say, my man, that thing, the ref did that thing, let's just forget about it. You all want fight because you know you're on the right side. So what they should have done, if they had not done it, or since they have not done it, is to resolve this issue amicably. And that's the only way we see that it will be. So write it down. If it continues, it's just going to affect the country. And it will run down into chaos. Okay. So we are looking at the chaotic scene and see, resolve it. Two of you move on there. Sit by, the deputy speaker will preside so that we can have elections for whoever wins, that's the person, so that the country can go on. What if the government did not take that stand, the budget was still hanging? Then what will happen to the Liberian people? It's still affecting Liberia anyway up to now. International community, though, how do you get investors? So you got 2% for the speakership. The country not for anybody, that our share heritage. So we are saying the country for every one of us. The both of you resign and let the deputy preside. That is our stand on that. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm welcome back, Cody. James, you want to come with a question? James.
okay, yeah. This country is the country of rule of law. So everything we do, we got to abide by the law as abiding citizen. We witnessed the case of the Edwin Snow Jr. during the time he was serving as the speaker, and we saw how he was dragged from power. And we even saw the case of Kadina Jane, which was also taken to the court of ECOWAS, and we also witnessed the case of Speaker Tyler, how he left his position. So the Liberian people are desperate in wanting to know as to whether, in the case of Speaker Kofa, as to whether he will get a justice in this case, because after all of these people who are just named, they wasn't self-justice in the past, and things went on. And now today we are witnessing the case of Speaker Kofi, and now everybody looking at the Supreme Court as the mother body of the rule of law in the country, and everybody looking at Supreme Court to call the case once and for all. And then if the Supreme Court cannot give the final ruling, as we all know, the House of Representatives have their own rule of law, or Supreme Court only interpret. So if this case cannot be solved, so what do you think going to happen next?
But we have to be looking at it from a different perspective, though. Does the Supreme Court have power to make a final decision in the first branch of government? Maybe not. That's why they've been dragging it. I'm just speaking from my own, perspective. They maybe not. They know because the first branch of government, this is the law and this is the rule. People made a rule. They have the authority to make that rule that govern them. When they take the judgment from the Supreme Court to say you are wrong, you are right, the Supreme Court may just interpret. They interpret the law according to the law. They are not interpreting the rule of the first branch of government. That's just how I look at it. You see, in the case of Senator Snow, look at it. Instead of going to fight, he resigned. For the sake of the Liberian people, he resigned. He will fight, but why fight? He resigned. They may not have had a number. Even if they didn't have a number, he resigned. People prevail on him. Now, in the case of Tara, Senator Tara, what he did, he resigned.
And Speaker Kofa
No, right?
said
That
the
is
last
different
one
from
he want to resign.
huh? But Speaker
Speaker
Kofa
Kofa said
is
it is the
saying
last thing on a man to resign.
the way. No, when we see the thing, we got to go down the bottom. The manner in which they want him to resign, had they negotiated, a group supposed to be there. They should have called him and discussed it because he knows very well that the group that want to move in don't have 49. And is it going to be unreasonable to say he's going to run a house with 49 that will not sit under his gavel? No way. I don't think he will think that way. I'm just saying. I don't think if you do the right thing and call him and get him on the side, say you resign. You know, when you bully somebody, they can fight more, right? You get go to my man, move from there, man. You just stand there. No, the man will fight back and say, oh, yeah, I was standing there. Let me see what you do. He knows that they can't just move in easily. So that is what happening. Instead of setting up a team to call him and say, this thing here, we can continue. Move your hand for inside. The media can spot him. Then they took it to the media and took it to, brought it to a fight. He don't need to be there. He got to be down because we have majority. Then he said, no, it's my authority. The majority did not get 49. Then he dropped under 49 and he can't leave. But that 49, other speakers, other people left. Said up, it's not left. And other guys who in there themselves, they left, they walk away, they left it, they say, okay, that for the sake of peace. If you do it in the way that you respect that man, he will say, but what am I fighting for? Because he knows he has a greater future. On the side and solve it in that way, I get it will be solved. But the idea that the Supreme Court is going, I don't see that it's possible. I'm not a lawyer, but to say the Supreme Court is going to say one person get out, Speaker Kofa, go, you are the speaker today, and 49 began recalcitrant. The 49 and they are in majority, they say, okay, we're not sitting under his gavel. Then are we going to be in the conflict going all the way until we destroy the country? So it can be resolved, but amicably. Unless people, I will try to place a few calls to see. I just told you from the beginning, I said there are three demographics in Liberia: the traditional demographic, the Muslim demographic, the Christian demographic. When one Umaga Pagla Francis was there doing church last night, what happened? Something happened. He called the interreligious, I think, organization to intervene. So what two Muslim men, two Christian, two traditional men will allow stakeholders to sit with them and say, let's call the people on the side and do this. Call them on the side and say, my man, they think we're too long, you move on there. Or if you want to talk to one of them, they will listen to you. Because the way the thing going on is a fight. For someone to say, I want to relinquish that power, it will be hard. But intervention can be done. They play our country. Now everybody thing there, we all got to get involved. We all sit down, we resolve it amicably. It got to be behind closed door. Then we'll bring the result also. Then to sit over there on the media, you media men that you're sporting, then you'll be holding, you'll be holding it and putting it, and then so that's what we are recommending. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Folks, keep sharing the live, and we are in conversation with Mr. Solomon, where we're the lead campaigner for the release former President Charles Gange Taylor campaign. And he also the CEO of the Liberia National Heritage and Cultural Development Association. This conversation is so exciting. Mr. Weawea, we hope to have most of this conversation. Let us join the phone line and take one call because the line are buzzing right now. Good evening. Yeah, go ahead. You follow the program. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Hello? Hello? Wow. I haven't announced the number once more. The numbers to call are +231 776 438 428. 0886 797034. I repeat, 231 776 438 428. 086 797039. Hello? Hello, caller?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, your name and where do you join us from?
Say, my name is Jimmy Stephen, according from the Jacob Town of Royce.
Thanks for joining us. You follow the program. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay. I want you to know, my brother, because even who was a representative or trusted, there is no understanding because we did not bring people now. We want to understand, and we are confused on the witness going. And I get to understand that the executive is working with the one calling themselves majority black. So when executive is working with the people who are calling themselves the majority black, and then the minority black carrying a case to Supreme Court and thing, and then the executive already working with the people who call themselves the majority black and thing. So then all the honor will look at the Supreme Court because we say the other people they are not the real people and this man is not the other real speaker and thing. And then speaker Kupapa will not to be the real speaker. He is now working again anymore, but the executive working with the majority speaker. So now all the honor I want hitting to Supreme Court for Supreme Court to get the final ruling. So we are waiting on the final ruling. When Supreme Court get the final ruling, ourselves we won't know whether the people that are going to tell the majority black whether they will listen to the Supreme Court final ruling on that day. But now what we still getting confused now, the executive now they still working with the majority black people. So even when the Supreme Court get the final ruling, will the majority black people listen to it or will the executive be willing to work alongside with the Supreme Court? Because the way things going on is making up convinced. Because Speaker Kofa said he will not resign because he said he is the legitimate speaker. Then I just followed him in recent time. He will have an interview on that video. He said they should go back to the host. And then if all 49 of the police go against him, the man said no need to go to court. The man said you will resign at this day. He said because it takes 37 person to elect you, but it takes 49 person to remove you. But it wasn't done in a case. He said he got to see to it because he said he is a lawyer. He is a lawyer, but citizen. So he want to be removed by the law, but the law say no. He must be removed. So he wanted calling for them to go back. If the 49 person can come up and say, oh, my man, we're not for you. He said, I think they said there's nothing for good and thing. So now, on my final question, if the Supreme Court gave the final ruling, say, oh, this man is a legitimate speaker that have interpreted the law. So when the executive sent to the man to work with you, or they will still be working with the majority black because in recent time, the executive gave the budget to the majority black through the Ministry of Finance. And that is the 2025 budget that we are working with now. So which we see to be illegal. So even when the Supreme Court get the final ruling with the executive, they wouldn't.
Thank you very much. I think our guest take a. So Weawea, can you address that question, please? You heard it.
I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything from there. The phone was completely off, breaking in.
Wow. He was
Recount.
concerned. His concern was if the court come with another ruling denying restoring the right of the Fonati Kofa, and then
Yeah.
he decides or the citizen decides to go another route. What could be the response? No, the question was if the court gave another ruling without if the court gave another ruling, what could be the response of the citizen? The ruling is that if the court go the other side and say that Richard Kun is the speaker, what could be the other side, of Speaker Kofa. I think that's what.
Oh, that's why he's saying, this is a very crucial movement in the time of Liberia, a very crucial movement now, a crucial time that we have to be very careful. We don't want anything to degenerate into anything chaotic. So the court is being very careful, but we all pray and hope that the court can give a judgment that will be acceptable, that the both parties will be satisfied. That's what we're all praying for. We want the good for the country, so that if they can do anything to resolve this issue, so that the noise will stop, then that will be fine. The court have the authority, but what authority they have not to go beyond that, what I do not know. Yeah, I can't speak to that, but since we got to sit and wait and see, hopefully if that works, then that brother will be happy, because who want to be witnessing the entire in the house? Nobody want to be witnessing that. We don't want to hear it say we wanted to go. But we are saying, if it does not work, that brother, we as independent body may want to intervene to talk to them. That what we do in our traditional thing. Now we are breaking the tradition down. It's not working any longer. That's what we do as traditional people. Because if we agree that Liberia is a traditional country, then the traditional people and the traditional people, that the same group of people that are there, the Muslims, the Christians, the tribalists, so they can get together and call to say that there are children there, our children leave the thing here, so that the deputy speaker is already right in there. Deputy speaker preside. That is the way we have been recommending. We have been on the media over and over recommending that. Since they want to take it this way, Supreme Court got the highest power. Let's see what they do. We can say what going to happen, what will not happen. But if they make a decision that will be satisfactory, it's a kudos. We all will be happy and dance and clap our hands.
Okay, thank you ever so much, Mr. Weawea, for your input that on the issue of the representative crisis here in Liberia. I want to take you to a national trending issue in the country right now from the former Vice President Chief Joe Howard Taylor in recent time. Yesterday in a live interview, she mentioned that on the day of the inauguration of President Joseph Weawea, her vehicle was taken from her. Her vehicle that was assigned to her as the vice president was taken from her on that day on the inauguration, and she has to wait for a private vehicle to come and take her home that day. And she waited over so many hours for her private vehicle to come for her, including her benefit. All of her benefit as a former vice president has been seized. And she is desperately calling on the government to restore her benefit as a former vice president of the Republic of Liberia. What is your take on that?
Thank you. We hope that every government in Liberia will work in line with the law. The country of law is the best place to live. There are some in the diaspora that our country will have to come back. But when the law is strong and firm, and we all have to follow the law. So the whole government is being governed by law, and there are laws in there. What is written there for the vice president to get? It is, I don't know that part of the law, if it's written there legally, but I think I would agree that even the representative, they're going to have incentive when they leave the office. The incentive that should be given to anybody should be given to them. If the government will have to seize an incentive because of being opposition, like for us, no opposition business when it comes to that. She served as vice president, and I'm not sure. I was following social media. There's a pro and con on that story. Some pro are saying no, they did not. She was given a car, one of the car that she's supposed to be using, it was not taken from her. Whether that is the truth, we don't know the fact. You generally will know exactly why it is because you follow it. But the thing is, if it is true that they took the car away, you can't take all the cars. She got incentive. What is her benefit? She needs to get it. So the former vice president is supposed to get her benefit that she's supposed to get. The government cannot seize it. It got nothing to do with opposition. She served. And she had to be, when people leave office, what is left with that the government will do is to give his or her honor. That all. So her honor need to be given to her. That's what I can say to that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Weawea, for joining us on this broadcast today. We like to take your party comment, sir.
All right. Thank you. I'm so glad I was on your platform today and we always work together. Uh, I want to to say to the people of Liberia, the country for every one of us is our shared heritage.
Mhm.
Let's hold it tight. Let's be peaceful. Sometimes I've observed or think people want to encourage the youth to just go up. If people protest, but you protest for a reason. It doesn't have to be unreasonable. If it's reasonable, have a peaceful protest, hoping that the government will understand that and don't, cause any problem in there, hurt anybody. And when it comes to the legislature, we are saying, please do the best thing you can do to resolve the issue. If you can resolve it in house, so the country can be a free country. You have the country in your hand, so don't just touch that. And those that are been calling us and sending message, giving message, my boss is going to be bringing the hard copy for the petition to be signed, and let the government also be informed that the government has to be careful in dealing with the tradition, because there's another side of it. You need to understand that. We will be speaking to that. We'll talk to some of our government officials from the internal affairs, so that if we can all work together, so that Liberia can be a peaceful place for us. So Liberia is our common heritage. So thank you very much. And it's a pleasure for being on your platform today.
Well, if there's a need for protest, have a peaceful protest. With this being said, we'd like to say thanks so kindly for joining us today, and we look forward to more of this conversation. And thank you.